Dear students, welcome to the course on Statistical Methods for Psychological Research Part 2. In this lesson, we are going to learn formatting of SPSS platform. Let us look at the learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, students can be able to learn the importance of data formatting and data labeling in SPSS, to know how to handle the missing values and outliers in SPSS, to know the significance of data scaling for accurate analysis and interpretation in SPSS. Let us start. We begin with the first part of the lesson, in which you will learn about the data formatting in SPSS. Defining variables in SPSS. If you are doing data analysis in SPSS, first you have to define the variable. Start by defining the variables in your data set. Specify the types of variables. It may be a numeric or string or date, etc., and assigning a variable name to each column of the data. The variable view tab displays information about the variables in your data. You can get the variable view window in two ways. The first way is to, in the data editor window, click the variable view tab at the bottom. In the data editor window, double click a variable name at the top of the column. This method can take you to the specific variable you can click. Variable name. The variable's name refers to a column in the data set. This variable name has to follow naming convention such as no spaces, no dots, etc. Otherwise, the SPSS file does not take the variable name. Renaming a variable simply changes the name of that variable, while everything else remains the same. For example, we may want to rename a variable called sex to gender. To change the variable's name, double click on the name of the variable that you wish to rename and type your new variable name. Types of variables. Here we may see the different types of variables which is available in the SPSS icon, which is called variable type: numeric, comma, dot, scientific notations, date, dollar, custom currency, string, restricted, numeric, which is integer with leading zeros. Here we may fix the variable width and decimal places. Label. Label is a descriptive definition of the variable. When defined, a variable label will appear in the output place of its name. Example: the variable expgra date might be described by the label expected date of college graduation, because the SPSS does not take the variable name with spaces. Values. For coded categorical variables, the value labels should be associated with each category observation. For example, if you have variable representing gender with values 1, you can assign the labels male and female respectively. Here we may enter 1 for male and 2 for female, then add and click OK button. Missing values. SPSS has a useful function called missing value analysis that enables a user to analyze the extent and pattern of missing data in data set. SPSS allows you to define codes for missing values, specify how missing values should be treated in calculations, and selectively exclude or include cases with missing values. Here we may see missing value analysis from the analysis menu. Missing value analysis in SPSS. These are the steps for find the missing value analysis in SPSS. First, click on Analyze menu, then click Missing Value Analysis. In the open dialog box, specify the quantitative and categorical variable which you want to find the missing values. Then click Descriptives. The univariate statistics will show the extent of the missing data for each of the listed variables. Under the indicator variable statistics, select the options t-test with the groups formed by indicator variables and cross tabulation of categorical and indicator variables. The indicator variable statistics will provide more details about the effects of the pattern of missing data in one variable on the values of the other variables. Then click continue and click OK. Data entry. Data entry is one of the important pre-processing while do the analysis. Enter the data into SPSS either manually or by importing it from an external file. If you have any less number of data, you may enter one by one. If suppose you have large number of data set, it is not possible to enter one by one manually because it will take too much of your time. Ensure that the data is entered accurately and consistently, paying attention to any special formatting requirements for each variable. Data entry in SPSS. After defining the variable properties, you can enter the data into SPSS data editor. Each row represents a case or observation while each column represents a variable. Enter the data directly into the cells of the data editor. Data entry in SPSS. When you open the SPSS program, you will see the blank spreadsheet in data view, which is look like this. To create a new spreadsheet, click new data. You can go file, then click new, then data, which is shown here. Variable labels. Assigning meaningful labels to each variable to improve the interpretability of your data set. Variable labels provide a descriptive name or explanation of the content of each variable. However, the variable name in the data view spreadsheet to see the variable labels. In the dialog boxes, lists of variables can be shown with either variable names or variable labels. Just go to Edit Options. In the General tab, choose Display Labels. On the output, SPSS allows you to print output variable names or variable labels or both. For that, you just go to Edit Options, then click OK. In the Output tab, choose Name and Labels in the first and third boxes. Then you will get the Display Labels list. Numeric data. Numerical data. The best practice for SPSS package is to code variables numerically whenever possible. You can see here that we have coded the gender variable as 0 or 1, where 0 for female and 1 for male. Recoding variables. Recoding allows you to change the values of a variable based on certain conditions. This is useful when you want to recode group responses or recategorize variables. SPSS offers several ways to recode variables, which includes recode into same variable option and recode into different variable options. Recoding variables, we can get this option from the transform menu. Here we click transform, then we may see two options. One is recode into same variables, other one is recode into different variables. Recode into different variable transforms an original variable into new variable. For recode the variable, to recode into different variables, click transform, then recode into different variables. Transforming variables. Transforming variables in SPSS allows you to manipulate and modify the data in your data set. This can be helpful for various purposes such as creating new variables, standardizing variables, computing new scores, or recoding variables. For creating new variables, go to transform menu, then compute variable. From the compute variable, computing new scores. To compute a new score, use the transform compute variable option and specify the desired formula using the existing variables. Here you may write the numeric expression which you want to create a new variables. Name of the variable to store the new values in the target variable box, which is located here. Use the numeric expression box to calculate different scores using this format. Suppose you want to find the difference between two variable name. You may use this format, variable 2 name minus variable 1 name or vice versa. Then click OK. Dear students, let us summarize what we have learned in the part 1. We have learned how to recode the variable in SPSS and the data formatting in SPSS. I hope you understood all the concepts. We will continue in the next video. Thank you.